Out here in rural Texas, you learn quick that if you don't keep an eye on your own land, someone else will try to claim it. My family's owned this ranch for 3 generations. Most of the 200 acres is pasture and woods, but in the far corner sits an old sunken pond, what the locals call the treatment lake. Decades ago, my grandfather struck a deal with the county. They needed somewhere to treat overflow during storms. Not raw sewage, mind you, but runoff from the treatment plant when the town's old pipes get overwhelmed. He carved out a low area, lined it, and every so often, when we get big floods, the county redirects excess water there. It's fenced off, posted with enough warning signs to make it clear you'd be an idiot to go near it. Of course, no one explained that to the fancy HOA that popped up next door. About 5 years ago, some developer bought the old Miller place next to our ranch and turned it into Silver Pines Estates. Big gates, brick mailboxes, the works. The HOA there has always been a nuisance. Complaining about my cattle, the smell of hay, the occasional whiff when the pond's doing its job. They called it an environmental eyesore, but never bothered to ask who owned it or what it was for. Last spring, they really outdid themselves. I was hauling hay one morning when I saw trucks by the fence line. Men in cheap uniforms and shiny badges that read, Silver Pines HOA Enforcement. 2 of them had a rented water tanker, parked just inside my back gate. I pulled up in my pickup and asked what in God's name they were doing. One, a squat guy with sunglasses too big for his face, barked, Sir, we're here to refill your retention pond as per HOA code. I just about spit my coffee. My what? Your pond. It's a community beautification resource. Several residents complained it's unsightly and dry, so we're topping it off. I started laughing. Probably the worst thing I could do because it made him puff up like a banty rooster. He pulled out a clipboard like that made him the law. Sir, refusal to comply may result in HOA fines and liens. I got out and pointed to the giant yellow signs nailed to the fence. County wastewater overflow reservoir. No swimming, no fishing, no entry. He squinted at it. That's just to keep kids out. Buddy, that pond's for sewage runoff. You fill it with clean water, you'll flood the berm, contaminate my pastures, and I'll own this HOA when the county sues you. He looked unsure for about 2 seconds, then, naturally, doubled down. We have authority to maintain community resources. I laughed again. You don't have authority to breathe on my land. He radioed for backup. About 10 minutes later, a real sheriff's cruiser rolled up. Turns out the HOA cops called the actual sheriff's office, hoping to flex their influence. Bad move. The deputy who stepped out was my cousin, Jace. Jace took one look at me, one look at the tanker, and asked what the hell they thought they were doing. When the HOA guys started reciting community ordinances, Jace held up a hand and said, You see that sign? That pond's county property. Tampering with it's a felony. You boys want to keep explaining? Or you want to turn that truck around? The enforcers stammered, but Jace was already writing them up for trespassing. He called the county water department. Within an hour, a county inspector arrived and nearly blew a gasket when he heard what they were trying to do. Long story short, the HOA had to pay a $100,000 fine for tampering with restricted infrastructure and trespassing. They also had to fund a new runoff monitoring system for the pond. Karen, the HOA president, tried to blame it on the rogue enforcers, but the county didn't buy it. Rumor is she lost her board seat after that. Now, whenever a Silver Pines resident complains about the smell, I remind them they can thank Karen for stirring it up, literally. These days, I hung a bigger sign by the gate, County Waste Pond. Enter if you love lawsuits. I still check it every week, just in case another genius HOA cop decides to beautify what they don't own.